hopefully I'll, well, I remembered it this week, so.
Bummer. I thought the custom coasters were going to be here soon.
God, get off my back. I'm starting the show. I'm 2 minutes late and everyone's giving me crap.
Everybody's texting you.
And we're live. Get off my damn back. Jeez. We are live. Welcome to episode 17 of Talking Heads. I am Jeff.
And I'm Rhett.
You never get that cue right. Ever.
What do you want from me?
Ever. Man, I say I'm Jeff, and John goes, I'm John, and you're always just that half step slow.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that they had time to process it, you know?
You're more about building the anticipation.
That's exactly
I'm Jeff,
right.
and I'm Brett. There you go. I like it. What do we got to drink tonight?
Okay.
Besides the really good show tonight.
Well,
which it is going to be a good show tonight.
Besides these two tall glasses of water, we're looking at two things here. From the Almonds Brewery, apparently in southeast Portland, we've got a seasonal called the Biere Royale. And it is a sour ale with black currant. There you go. Thank you, sir.
There we go.
I've never had it, but I wanted a sour. And it was within my price range at the Capitol Beer Market there in Salem, Oregon. And so I decided I'd take a risk. And it seems like it comes pretty highly recommended on Untapped and other places like that, Beer Advocate.
Yeah.
And then the other one, another brewer, I mean, forgive me if this is like somebody's favorite brewery, but I had no idea about them. They're called Modern Times Brewing.
Down in San Diego.
And they're from San Diego. Yep, here, let's get one of these bad boys.
Okay, there we go.
I got to do it. So there we go. And it is it's a stout, a Nitro stout.
Yeah.
And just a description, I guess they use coffee in it, which I couldn't remember. I thought maybe you didn't like coffee stouts.
No, I love coffee
However,
stouts. Are you kidding me?
Great. We're on the same page.
Yes.
So the coffee, they age it in bourbon barrels. So that excited me. Plus, I love a good nitro. So I don't know.
See, I was excited for the sour. Now you got me leaning.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll have to see. I'm taking a risk on both of them, but
we are.
I'm pretty excited.
Now, as some of you might have noticed, I don't have any glassware set up yet. That's because I got some new furniture in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
I got all my glassware in a brand new cabinet. Oh, yeah. So what do you say? Pilsners for the sour?
Yes, sir. Do it. Brought to you straight from Jeff's liquor cabinet.
There we go. I don't have to pre-stage my glasses off camera here anymore. That's going to be nice.
Oh, man. This was a challenge not to open on the way here.
Oh, that's a good smell.
Drink responsibly, friends.
That's right.
Always do it with at least one hand on the... No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Oh, boy.
Good color. There we go. There you go, sir. Very good color on that. It's a real deep, almost like a blackberry, deep red.
Well, that's what the currant is, right? That's like the woody part of the blackberry bushes. Can I pour the rest of this?
Yes.
All right. Oh, boy. There's a little bit extra. So sorry that it's not even.
Not an even pour. That's all right.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
And cheers to you, listener. Viewer.
I completely left them out. I don't know what you're drinking tonight. Let me know what you're drinking in the comments. Or in the chat window there.
This is great.
That is delicious. Absolutely delicious. Let me know what you're drinking as long as you are of legal drinking age.
Yeah.
If you're not of drinking age, let me know what you're drinking anyway. Pepsi, root beer, whatever.
Yeah. Or just don't tell us.
Or just don't tell us. So, no,
that's good.
That is delicious. And John says, at least you brought great beer this time.
John,
you have no room to talk after last week.
What did he bring?
Now, those German beers, which I was corrected in the comments numerous times, are Bavarian beers. Both of them were Bavaria. Those were delicious. Those were fantastic. But after bringing me a Zima last week.
Good old Zima. Hey, good work, John. At least I bring great beer. I bring great beer every time.
That's right. So, and I'm going to do a little bit of a plug for myself real quick, and then I'm going to do a plug for you real quick.
Yes, sir.
We've got a couple new things on the channel. If you've been watching my videos to the end, you'll know that I'm now on Patreon. This will be one of my only opening plugs, so just bear with me for a second. I'm now on Patreon. Donate whatever you want. Basically, my weekly videos I'm going to charge Patreon backers for. So if you want to donate $4 a month, put $1 in your donation, and it'll charge you every time I post a major video. I'll only charge you up to 4 times a month. If you want, you can also set a max monthly amount for that. So if you want to donate $1 a month, put $1 in, put $1 as your max for the month, and you'll give me $1 when I post a video. Totally do that. There are going to be a number of perks for that. One of the perks coming out that I am working on right now, I don't know when I'm going to be done with that, is I'm working on a custom keychain bottle opener. I got this one in that I'm really excited about. I'm not going to sell you guys things that I wouldn't genuinely use myself. This one is about a 16th inch of steel. It's absolutely perfect, fits right on your keychain. It's nice and small. That'll be engraved with my logo and some saying. I haven't quite determined what yet. But if you sign up for my Patreon, within the next couple of months, I'll be sending you a bottle opener. The other thing you get access to is my Discord chat. Which there's a live chat during Talking Heads for Discord. Also, you can just chat with us during the week. Myself, Rhett, John, Steve, all of us ask us questions. Just, shoot the breeze with us. That's what we're there for. Talk tech, talk beer, talk life, talk work, talk whatever you want to talk about. Just have some fun. So those are 2 of the perks that are coming, and there will be more as well. There will be special projects just for Patreon backers and things like that. That's my plug. You want to get to beer news first, or you want to do your plug?
Let's get the beer news
Let's get beer news out of the way.
Let's do that.
So, find me on Patreon, Craft Computing. All right.
I noticed you already had a couple backers, by the way.
I do have a couple backers already. So, thank you guys for jumping on that early. I do appreciate it. And the last thing, everything that I make from Patreon and everything that I make from my Amazon affiliate link is not going into my pocket to pay for my electric bill or my housing or my gas in my car. It's going directly back into content that you see behind me. It's everything that you see on this channel. That's what it goes towards. It goes to funding projects, to funding beer for us to drink, to doing things that are directly related to this show. So that's what Patreon and Amazon affiliate are for. Please want you back. In the arms of...
Roll the video of the cute puppies with the...
I don't have the puppy in my hand this week.
Oh, dang it. Oh, he didn't even perk up from that either.
No, he's asleep. His bedtime's 8 o'clock, man. Hard 8, he's done.
Oh, good.
All right, let's get to the beer news for the week.
Please do.
Let's see. Someone's drinking Maker's Mark. Way to go, buddy.
You're a tough guy, Kitty Resb.
Don't drink, having a Coke. Good on you.
Hey.
Someone says, Zima, you say. Root beer, cheers. Cheers, everyone. That's awesome. I don't discriminate for alcohol or beverages of any kind, really. I love just about anything. Let's get to beer news.
Now, this one's interesting. Because, for some reason, maybe the headline is actually accurate, but when I read the headline, North Korea launches beer using exclusive brewing technique.
Yes.
The first thing that comes to my mind is is this their first beer? Do North Koreans brew beer? Do they import beer?
This is a technique exclusive to North Korea.
Right. And I read that they apparently pioneered wheat beer. Which maybe I just
wheat
got
beer.
They're like, yeah, instead of using barley, we're using wheat.
That's right.
Which, hey, welcome to 2018.
We are trendsetters over here in Greater Korea.
But it is still kind of interesting. North Korea's been up in their PR game here in the last several weeks with the Olympics start this week or something, right? Next week? I have no clue. I shouldn't have said anything.
I don't remember.
We are on the cusp of the Winter Olympics in South Korea. That's and, of course, anybody who follows the news probably recalls that they've been kind of closing the ties up a little bit between North Korea and South Korea, specifically for the Winter Olympics. Mm-hmm. And so this move probably strikes me as kind of another PR blitz.
Well, they had all that good PR with South Korea lately, and then all of a sudden they said, no, we're not going to do it. They actually backed out, I think, last week or something like that.
Did they? Okay.
So,
I didn't read that.
Yeah.
I was busy not reading that.
Joe Calvin, Booze Fun. Cheers to you, buddy.
Oh, Joe Calvin. Joe Calvin. Colvin?
Colvin. Joe Colvin.
Joe. Thanks, buddy.
I have terrible eyesight if you guys haven't figured that out yet.
And the screen is really far from me.
Yeah.
So,
So Joe Colvin, cheers to you. Thanks for the donation
Joe.
up there.
we're going to use it to buy all the Bud Light we can drink.
Yes, $2 by my buddy Rhett here, Bud. So anyway, apparently North Korea has pioneered an exclusive technique for brewing beer with wheat.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought of doing that?
Yep, and apparently, I just can't get over that.
I don't know, the Germans maybe.
Yeah, anybody? Where have you been? But in terms of taste and smell, it is better, according to their state-run newspaper.
Yes,
so
it already gained positive reviews from North Korean citizens, the newspaper stated. Barley is generally the preferred grain in brewing beer. However, malted grains, including wheat, rye, and oats, are also often used. So,
oh, God.
North Korea, supreme leader, trendsetters. It's, yeah.
Now it's part of the round-the-clock battle to make North Koreans' lives better.
That's right. And I got to say, they're doing a fantastic job with the models that they chose to
I keep
demo
thinking
this
that,
beer.
too. I'm just like, okay, really?
Yeah.
They picked the most photogenic people in North Korea, apparently.
They're doing some really good recruiting over there.
Clearly. Keep kicking the light here.
That's right. In other beer news, up in Tigard, just north of us, about 35, 40 minutes or so, Tigard is opening the world's first dog tap house. Now, there have been tap houses that have been cat friendly in the past, which I'm a little about because I used to live with cats and I know how dirty they are.
See, the big thing when I went to Japan, they got owl cafes, they got cat cafes, they got echidna cafes, they got hedgehog cafe. Like, if there's a cute animal, they have a business structure where you can go in and pay money to play with them and drink coffee or pop around them.
Yep.
So this is kind of actually pretty cool. If it really is, I mean, I've never heard of a business model with dogs, so...
Neither have I, and this is really cool. Tigard, Fido's Tap House in Tigard is introducing the world's first beer tap house that is dog-friendly, that you basically come in, 25% of everything, of all of their 40 drafts that they have on tap, goes to charity. The other thing is they will have dogs that are walking around the tap house for adoption.
Now
Which
that's
I think
pretty
is
clever.
fantastic.
Pretty clever. Although how many, I want to know, like, how many returns are they going to get? Like, I can't keep this dog. I was drunk when I filled that out. Hey, Taylor. Taylor went to Japan with me. He's in the chat room.
Oh, hey, Taylor. How's it going, man?
And we went to a cat cafe. The cat cafe was a blast. The owl cafe was kind of sad. Although, supposedly, they had them chained up, and it was like their bedtime, so they like to just sit there and not do anything. But they were chained up, so it was kind of sad, right? Like, you go to the cat cafe, and at least they're all running around being crazy and just being cats.
I have a really cool endangered animal story involving an owl. When I was I had to have been 8 or 9, maybe 10 years old, somewhere right in there. I was over in Eastern Oregon with my dad. We were just driving around the back roads there, and got out of the car. We're going on this hike. We come to the end of this trail right by the truck, and there's an owl flapping around with a broken wing. And it was a great horned owl.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful thing.
Oh.
And so my dad grabs a towel out of the truck, and we wrap that thing up and get it in the truck, and we drive it down to the Fish and Wildlife cabin that was maybe 20 miles away or so.
Nothing's close in Eastern Oregon.
Nothing's close. I mean, 20 miles was like, oh man, it was only 20 miles away. You're lucky if there's gas stations within 50 some places.
For sure.
There. So, but yeah, that was scooped it up. It's my dad held it, my mom drove, and I was in the passenger seat, and my dad's sitting in the back seat petting a endangered animal.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I only have bad stories about owls, so.
Yeah.
We won't go there.
We had one that we were also in Eastern Oregon, and one flew into the side of our truck at highway speed.
Okay, that was my story. Yeah, it was like, hey, there's a beautiful majestic. Oh God, no! Why?
Yeah, ours was the side of the truck. So
Yeah.
it's late at night. It's like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and all I see is this giant wing come up on the side of the window,
And it's kind of frightening because it's dark out, and it's just like, and they're huge birds sometimes.
The wing covered the window.
Oh, easily.
And it hit the truck, and it left a dent in the side of his truck.
Oh,
So,
yeah, mine hit a windshield of a work truck, and it was like, I pulled over and the damn thing was unconscious. I didn't know what to do. I felt so bad. I ended up picking it up and put it in the back of the truck, but it ended up dying. It never woke up again, so I felt pretty bad about that.
And of course, I've hit my number of deer.
Oh yeah, of course.
Everything else, yeah.
Welcome to Oregon, rural life.
I hit a deer next to the airport.
I hit deer almost backing out of my driveway all the
Yeah.
time. We got them up the butt over where I live. So.
Yeah. All right, and the last thing we wanted to touch on real quick was the. You'll want to follow the link down in the description. This is way too much to talk about, but I wanted to just glance over it real quick. On Tap Credit Union presents the 2018 Beer Release Calendar Roundup. What this is a well laid out calendar by region, by brewery, or by state, where you can see what beers are coming out in your area this year. What rare beers are coming on draft, what they're doing in bottles, whatever is near you. Go find a craft beer.
This is pretty cool.
A really cool site.
Real quick, I just have to say, potato. Anyways, somebody's over here like, read the Discord.
Oh.
If you see this, say potato. We see it.
Yeah.
Now, I might not say potato next time.
By the way, there's only 2 of you in the Discord right now, and Bud, we heavy potato. You're not saying words right now. You're just,
They've been drinking.
Well, one of them hasn't, but so many dead animals. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we won't talk about dead animals.
If you watched
anymore.
me a month ago, I saved a puppy on my doorstep.
It's true, and he's like 3 feet away from us, 4 feet.
And to be fair, the deer that hit me lived, and he hit me. She got up and walked away.
She was pregnant. I mean, I think the baby's absorbed most of the impact.
So I think we're 2 dead animals, 2 saved, and 1 slightly injured. So we're actually above par on this.
We're doing pretty good.
Doing pretty good. 2 and 1. I will take that record.
Tune in next week to see how the stats build up. No, sorry, Taylor. We're talking about Craft Computing's Discord, buddy.
Yeah, my Discord. That's right.
But yeah, so this is
Become a backer on Patreon, and you can get on my Discord.
Yeah, buddy. Only takes at least $1.
Takes $1. So anyway, the On Tap Credit Union. Find a local craft beer in your area that's going to be coming out this year. Go buy it. Go drink it. Support your local craft brews. So,
great idea.
All right, should we get into your thing?
Yeah.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, if you're watching me for me, this is my buddy Rhett, and he is one of the partners in crime, whatever you want to say, of GameDevsQuest. And I'm going to let you tell them all about it, because I'll probably butcher your mission statement.
Yeah, well, no problem. So the whole point of GameDevsQuest, we are mostly a podcast, but we have been building a community for about a year now. A community of game developers of all skill levels. And we got people who are veterans who've been working on stuff for years. We got people who haven't even taken the first step and, learned a line of code. But our whole point is that we're out there trying to help people who might not know where to start, find their footing, and make their first games. And so part of that, we do a podcast. Taylor, my partner, co-founder, he's streaming every night, and we got our own Discord server that we're answering questions and hooking people up with good resources, tutorials, videos, how-tos, that sort of thing, and just getting them started. And part of that, what we do every once in a while, we host an event, and they're called Game Jams. Now, anybody who doesn't know what a Game Jam is, there's lots of familiar ideas in other fields with this.
This is similar to 24 hours of code projects
Yep.
and things like that.
And also, I don't know what they're called. Maybe Taylor could tell me in the chat. Hey, Joe!
Joe, my buddy.
man! I'll drink to that. Cheers, buddy. Thank you so much.
Joe just bought us some craft beer.
Yes, he did.
$10 donation. Have a good time going to sleep. Get some sleep, buddy.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much, buddy.
Yeah, well, hey, Sai, you can definitely, like, if you know a little bit of code, that is, like, the perfect groundwork to break into game development.
Yep.
Because nowadays, with all the tools you have at your own disposal, you don't need to be an expert coder. You just need to know enough.
Yeah.
And if you know how to use Google, that's the other half of the battle. You Google all your problems. But I was going to say, maybe Taylor could correct me on this, but there's another one. He's talking about the 24 hours code. I think they're like film jams or something. And I know we're on like Ludum Dare is another game jam. Thank you, chat room. But film jam, you take a weekend, like Friday night, you write the script. Saturday, you shoot. Sunday, you edit. And by Sunday night, you have a finished product. Yeah. That is the idea of a game jam. You know, Friday, or however long it is, generally it's like a weekend. Friday night, you draft your concept and you start making your game. Maybe doing some prototyping or rough pixel art, that sort of thing. Saturday, you work on it some more. Sunday, you also work on it some more. And hopefully by the time you're done, you have a finished game. So we have been hosting our own. This is the third annual. We call it not annual. It's only been a few months, but it's the third One Mechanic Game Jam.
We'll call it quarterly.
Quarterly. We're almost on par for quarterly, so that'll work.
Yeah.
So it is the One Mechanic Game Jam. And the reason we chose the One Mechanic Game Jam, you create a game that is playable with one mechanic, right? Something like an infinite runner. Like, any of you ever lost internet connectivity on Chrome and you press spacebar and the little dinosaur starts running and you start jumping over cactuses and stuff? That is a one mechanic game. Lots of games you grew up playing are one mechanic games. Super Mario Brothers, pretty much a one mechanic game, even though it's got two mechanics.
Hey, Sunclaw, $2.
Oh, my man.
I ran out of beer.
Oh, we might have to crack into these other ones.
We may have to. $2, Sunclaw. Thank you very much, buddy.
But the point of the One Mechanic Game Jam is a low barrier of entry. If you have never made your own game before, it's the perfect opportunity for you to hop on, start a project from start to finish, keep the scope low so that you can start and finish a game in one weekend. Me and my buddy Taylor, who's in the chat room, are going to be doing it, and we got a whole Discord server full of people who are going to be participating. In fact, if you want to click it up here, we have almost 100 participants for the One Mechanic Game Jam 3. You've got 1 day and 3.5 hours until it starts. Starts on Friday morning at midnight. Runs until Monday morning at midnight. You got all weekend. Hey, thanks, Sai.
Sai, my man.
I don't know what that denomination of currency is, but we super appreciate it.
That's right. I will. I'll do the conversion on that here shortly. Thank you, Sai.
So you got time to sign up if that's your cup of tea. Now, I ask you this, viewer, if you aren't interested in game development, but maybe you know somebody who's been talking about it for a long time and doesn't know where to start, send them on over here to this page you're looking at and trying to get them to sign up for the One Mechanic Game Jam, because it's super easy, super fun, and we got a bunch of people who are willing to help out in any way that they can.
Yep. And the link is down in the video description. It should already be there.
Boom.
So it's right under the beer news. Or no, it's actually the second thing on there.
Oh, perfect.
I announce Super Chat or Patreon, and then it's Rhett's joining me, and click on the link for Game Jam.
And what's more is anybody who successfully completes a game and submits it.
Indian rupees.
Oh, awesome. There it is. Thank you.
40 rupees. Feel like Link over here.
At least you don't have to go cut all the bushes down.
That's 2 purples.
That's true. All I can think of is like that opening scene in Ocarina of Time where you have to run around and cut all the bushes to get the rupees so that you can buy the one.
That's one Deku Shield.
That's exactly right.
Sai just bought me 1 Deku Shield.
Thank you so much,
my man Sai.
Further, like I was saying, anybody who submits their game and successfully submits it, completes it, me and Taylor are going to be doing a live stream maybe a week or 2 after the submissions close, and we're going to play every single game, and we're going to talk about it, we're going to dissect it. we're not going to crap on your game. We don't do that. We are a strictly positive community, but we're going to play every single one. And
if I go to last year or last
please.
last year's,
it was took place in like October. October 6th.
Last year. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So here are all the games that were submitted last time around.
Yeah. Now you can see lots of varying skill levels, lots of different takes on stuff. Some of these games all of them are built with differing engines, right? You have like one 3D game up there. You have some sort of racing game. I think the space shooter. I don't know. Oh yeah, a match 3 game, a card game. That one took us a long time to figure out, but it's pretty cool, and I think it's optimized for mobile. There's like a. Yeah, this one was a funny take. A single mechanic, and you're playing on this like airplane here that's like all of these things are malfunctioning and you have to go and repair them. Clever take on the title. Door Simulator. I barely remember all of these, but we played them all on a stream. I'm sure you can find it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Taylor says in the chat room, a lot of Game Jam games aren't that good. But the point is that there's no pressure. It's just for fun. And it's just to challenge your boundaries a little bit.
Yeah, it's to challenge you. It's to get together with other developers who are the same skill level or lower or higher, encourage each other and go, oh, I brought this, I think it's crap. But everyone else goes, no, you had a great mechanic there. Or I love your pixel art. Or I love this or I love that. And it's literally just a challenge for yourself. How can I improve my craft?
Yeah. And there's ours right there, Maximum the Rollerball. It's a really cheesy take on. We had just come back from Japan. It's a really cheesy take on sumo, where just some balls smash into each other on a platform that gets smaller and smaller. Yep. And the goal being to knock the enemy off the platform. Anyway, these are a bunch of examples. If you want to take a look, just Google One Mechanic Game Jam 2, and it's up on itch.io. You can play and see all of those games. And if you are interested in the third one that is taking place this weekend, 9th, 10th, and 11th, you can go to itch.io. Oh boy, I'm not going to give you the link. What I'm going to say is Google One Mechanic Game Jam 3 or find the link on YouTube.
Yeah, find the link down below for Game Jam 3. And can you get to Game Jam 2 from that link? Or it's probably on the same page.
It's probably somewhere. You'd probably have to click around.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do one more thing with this. Because I know we got a couple.
I'm going to get some glasses. So.
Yeah, thank you. I know we got a couple people from the GameDevsQuest Discord here looking to get some insider tips on what the theme for this.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of you in chat already.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you guys some hints about the themes. Now, nobody knows this yet, but me and Taylor have settled on 3 separate themes that you can choose between, combine in any shape, way, or form that you please. And I'm not going to tell you themes, but I'm going to give you a clue. And anybody who guesses the themes correctly, I'm not going to tell you tonight, but I am going to hop online and I'm going to be buying some Steam games. I'm going to be looking at buying, anybody who guesses the theme correctly, a copy of Ophidian from Manbeard Games, who is a popular member of our GameDevsQuest Discord community. He made a really great, basically like a take on Snake. And it has like portal cubes and multiplayer and lots of different power-ups and stuff like that. It's very cool. Anybody who gets the theme right is going to get a copy of Ophidian in their gift in their Steam inventory. So here's my clues. You get 3 clues, 1 for each theme. And they're going to come in the shape of movie titles. Theme number 1. Waterworld. That's your clue. Theme number 2. Terminator. That's your clue. Theme number 3. Wall Street. If you need a refresher, go watch those movies. Come back to the chat room. I'll be reviewing this all later, or you can private message me on Discord, or get in on the Craft Computing Discord, or the GDQ Discord. You can tweet me, whatever it might be. Tweet me your guesses. Anybody who's right is going to get a copy of Ophidian from Manbeard Games.
Cool.
Oh, there it is. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Taylor.
Cool.
And that's all I got for now. So.
Yep. I can't post it right this second, but I'll post that as soon as the stream is over. So if you check back to this video after this is posted, which should be like 30 minutes after the end, we'll have a link to both GameDev Game Jam 3 and Game Jam 2. So
Yep.
you can see all the previous submissions.
Yep. And you can see on One Mechanic Game Jam 2, I think we had 60 applicants, entry people, but we only had 21 actual completed submissions. And this time, we got nearly 100 participants. So hop on in or tell your friends if that's what you're all about.
I can already smell the coffee in that.
I know. It looks delicious. Although a little less nitro than I would have hoped.
Yeah.
But that's
Hoping for a little bit more of a...
Yeah, Cascade or whatever they call that. Yeah.
I tried to give it a good hit at the end. Got a decent head on it.
Not bad.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers
viewer.
to you all. Oh, yeah.
And that's all I got for GameDevsQuest news. Thanks for letting me steal like freaking 15 minutes there, whatever that was.
That is smooth.
This is really good.
Very good. Very smooth all the way through. Little less carbonated than I would expect.
Well, I was going for the nitro.
Yeah. You can definitely taste a little bit of the saltiness to it. I guess there's some sea salt in
Yeah,
this.
they add sea salt, which I thought, because I think they say right at the top they do cocoa nibs, almonds, and sea salt. And it tastes like that, but it's actually quite a bit more refreshing than you would think.
It's almost got a crispy finish to it.
Crispy is a good way of putting it.
Yeah. Where it's not like it's not like a stout that you would normally like cut with a knife or the typical like milk nitros or anything like that. This is just, it's really, really smooth, but then it's got a real crisp finish to it. I like that. I say that's solid for a lot of beers.
Yeah.
This is a solid beer.
Well, I almost shied away with it if you catch that price tag there for a 4-pack, but I kept walking past it and I kept thinking like, man, that does sound good.
It's a
Coffee
good brew.
aged in bourbon barrels is what sold me on it, but
I don't get much of the bourbon. Do you?
no, not at
No,
all. But I think it lends itself to like a round taste shape.
Yeah.
Is that a phrase? Is that a real thing?
It is now.
Taste shape.
It is now. All the winos are going, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I love round mouth taste shapes or whatever.
Sorry, we live just north of wine country. So.
Just north, we're surrounded
by wine country. Well, that's not true. We have the world's largest hop producer just north of us.
That's true. What's that, like?
Hubbard. Hubbard, Oregon is the world's largest hop producer.
Yeah, the world's largest hop farm for years was like in St. Paul or something, or like, I don't know. But, here on the I-5 corridor, the Willamette Valley, we got crops of all kinds. We're also the grass seed capital of the world.
Steve says mouthfeel.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Hey, why don't you go back to your own video, Steve? Just kidding. You're all right. It's your brother.
It's that John guy we don't like or anything. He never gets me views anyway.
Shame on you, John.
All right, let's move into tech news this week.
Let's do it.
Nothing happened in tech. I'm kidding.
Yeah, jeez.
Oh my god.
Well, I guess we can pack it in early. Let's just drink beers.
That's right.
Pretend everything's okay.
So let's get to the big news of the week, and that is there was bigger news, but we'll start with this one. A number of major banks have come out and banned the purchase of cryptocurrency through credit.
So just based off of that little soundbite there, like, do you think that that's a smart move by banks?
I absolutely do.
Okay.
As I mentioned before, there's a couple problems with non-traditional currencies when dealing with. We'll call Bitcoin a commodity at this point.
Sure.
I feel it has a lot more credence with commodity and less with currency.
I'd say that that's accurate because you look at the price fluctuations, and to me, I've always compared it to like the gold market or something. You know?
Yeah.
Not that it's completely parallel.
Watch
but
the metals market go up and down. Watch the price of aluminum go up and down. Price of steel, price of gold, price of silver.
Oil.
Oil. Oil's another good one. Fluctuates like crazy. There's a reason you go from $4.50 a dollar for gas down to $1.85 in some weird circumstances, which is not around us because we never get below 290. But besides the point. Anyway. A lot of major banks have come out. JP Morgan, Chase, Citigroup, Bank of America, they've all come out and said we will now ban sales if you try to swipe a credit card to purchase Bitcoin. We are banning known exchanges where the purchase will just be declined. No reason, just if you try to purchase Bitcoin at an exchange, it's going to be declined.
What?
Joe!
What are you doing,
I thought
buddy?
you were going to bed.
We're gonna owe you big time after this. Thank you, Joe.
Joe's buying me a fifth.
And yes, somebody did try to pay in ruble. They didn't try, Joe. They did. Okay?
That's right. Someone paid me in rubies.
That was a freaking Deku shield.
That's right. Yeah, he bought me a Deku shield. You bought me a fifth, though. So
Yeah, you're like, we got plenty of Deco shields now. So, thanks, man.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Anyway, so they will no longer allow you to purchase Bitcoin or any kind of cryptocurrency through an exchange. The reason for that is the volatility within the crypto market itself, where there's a great joke out there. Kid walks into his dad's office and says, "Hey, Dad, can I borrow $10 or can I have $10 in Bitcoin?" And the dad says, $8.30 in Bitcoin. What do you need with $11.42 worth of Bitcoin? Do you think I just have $9.17 worth of Bitcoin laying around? It fluctuates so wildly that they cannot determine if what you're buying is actually worth what you're buying it for. The other thing is when you buy cryptocurrency and put it into a wallet, that wallet is locked. There is no traditional way to get that money back. So let's say someone steals a credit card and buys $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. They go buy one Bitcoin or half a Bitcoin or 3 Bitcoins or whatever. $10,000 right there.
Joe, do we gotta call somebody at your house?
Joe, I'm gonna break out the liquor here in a second.
We're gonna have to. Joe, thank you, my man. Guys, Joe is the example you should all be living by.
Joe is killing it over here, up in the chat.
Joe, I can't keep up with that, okay?
Yeah.
So you're making me look bad now.
You've literally paid for half of my ad revenue that I get from YouTube for the month, so.
Thank you, Joe. No, seriously, like, we might be making light of it, but truly, people like you are what allow
us
starving artists. Yeah, exactly.
You put out a tweet a couple of weeks ago that said you're always about the starving artists, and so am I. For when I went to college, I was a music education major. I was a starving artist for a couple of years there, and I know you're big in the theater and everything else. And,
Yep.
Promote and support the things that you like to see.
Yeah.
And this is a great example of that. So thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
You are the man. You are the man.
I'm gonna drink the rest of this beer I'm gonna just chug it. No, I'm not doing that. But thank you. I'm gonna enjoy it though.
That's right.
Tastes all the sweeter.
It's a damn good beer. So, anyway, where was I? So anyway, when you buy crypto,
Joe, we can't talk about anything anymore.
Joe, another $2.
He's trying to get all the colors.
He's trying to get all the colors. So now he's trying to get the full rainbow.
Okay, we're gonna not look at the screen till we get through this news article.
So when you buy crypto, it goes into a wallet. There's no traditional way for any bank to recoup that money. Once it's in your wallet, it's locked down to you.
Yep.
There's no way to repossess it. There's no way to sell it. There's no way for the bank to pick up a loss if you, say, stole a credit card, bought a Bitcoin, added it to your wallet. There's nothing they can do. Because they go, give us the password to your wallet. And you go, I forgot the password. I'm sorry.
Now, I've seen a huge backlash to this news breaking. You know, people are like, well, you know what? What are the bank? They're just trying to control the capital of the world. And it's like, no, they're trying to cover their own butts. Like, they are a business first, and your friends never. But what's happening is, I think we talked about it. It's like somebody's stolen credit cards. You go and you buy crypto. They aren't recouping that money. Right. They are screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, when you commit fraud with a credit card, the banks have a number of recourse options. They can, number one, cancel the purchase, which saves you, the buyer, but the credit card company still paid out money for whatever goods they purchased with that credit card. If they bought a limo with it, or a limo ride, or a beer, or whatever else, obviously they're going to be out that. But if they go buy goods with that money, so let's say they go out and they buy, let's say, a brand new graphics card, because no one can afford a 1060 right now.
Because of all you crypto miners out there.
Right, let's bring it full circle, shall we? bring it full circle. So let's say they go blow $800 on a GTX 1060. Normally, what the bank could do is they could say that was a fraudulent purchase. Police, when you pick him up, we would like to recoup that, and we will either return it to the manufacturer and we will recoup the money from that, or we will sell it personally through eBay or through third party or whatever else to recoup our money that we lost on that purchase. With crypto, there's no way to do that. And you know, for good or for bad, I think it's a good move. But by
It's a smart move.
It's a smart move.
It's a business savvy move.
Smart business savvy move. Joe with the yellow now.
Joe, I don't even know what to do with you. We can't return this when the show's done, by the way, if that's what you're going for.
Joe.
Oh, boy.
Joe.
Jeff's in a celebratory mood now.
I'm in a celebratory mood. Do you want a shot?
Yeah? Surprise me. I'm not picky.
Well, you will be after this.
Well,
I have something I haven't even moved to the cabinet yet.
oh, boy. Look, Joe. Sai with another 20 rupees, my man.
We got a bit more going on here.
Oh my gosh. You know, I'm a little disappointed in my buddy Taylor over here. I don't know what he's doing.
So
he's been a little, wait, what are those? What's your other family's name, Taylor? Never mind. Inside joke that was bad.
All right, so I'm gonna break something out just for Joe and Sai because you guys have been so generous. I don't break this out often. I'm going to show it to you first.
The gold reserve.
I'm gonna show
Should I not have said it? I'm sorry.
I'm going to show it to you guys second.
I was so excited.
Okay?
Another 40 rupees.
Not as rich as you, Joe. That's okay, Sai. You are doing your part, my friend.
You are doing great, man. Thank you so much. And because of your guys' generosity, I get the good stuff.
That's right. We are breaking out the good stuff. This, you will never, ever want to drink regular whiskey again.
Oh, I already don't ever want to drink regular whiskey again.
Even more so. I'm nearing the bottom of this bottle. There's about a half a shot left in there. I'm going to save that for later. Okay, this is Jameson Irish Whiskey Gold Reserve. This is my absolute favorite whiskey in the world. Unlike most bar shooters, you don't even need to think about a chaser with this. So
I would never do that. Anyways.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Sai.
Joe. Cheers,
Thank you,
Sai.
everybody in the chat room right now.
Here we go.
Oh, that is damn good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm just gonna let that settle.
That's smooth.
Oh. Like I said, I love craft beer, but if there's something I love better than craft beer, it's really good whiskey.
I love good whiskey. In fact, my buddy of mine, he had come home from living in England for a year, 18 months, maybe it was 2 years. He went there to the University of East Anglia. Joe, I can't even keep up.
That's all I got, buddy.
I still got the Jameson taste in my mouth, so I'm not going to drink to you yet. But
I was going, no.
Buddy of mine,
let that work its way through.
Buddy of mine went over to England to get his master's degree, and he came back, and he had brought with him a bottle of the Jameson Gold Reserve, and I think like straight from the distillery. And he came over, and we drank the whole bottle in one sitting, and it was the most the most glorious night. And then he just hopped on his bike and rode home, and he's like, I've been living in England for 2 years. I'm perfectly fine.
Right.
And I was like, I gotta sit on my couch and relax a little bit.
Yeah. I will say, when I was at CES, I got into 2 different drinking contests with some Brits, and that was fun.
Yeah, of course. Jason Harrison, Dr. Argus from the GDQ Discord, he says, does Rhett even know that you don't turn on the heater? He wouldn't be giving you grief if he did. Yeah, I know that Taylor doesn't turn on the heater. In fact, last year, December, January, when it was snowing like crazy, Taylor turned off his heater, froze to death, and still had like a $400 electric bill. So,
yeah.
Jason, there's nothing about Taylor I don't know, okay? That's just like comes with the territory of knowing somebody since you were like 10 years old or whatever it is.
And what I will say is my electric bill's $400 and I keep my heater at like 62 degrees and I've got 2 daughters and a wife and they don't like it. But my downstairs doesn't stay 62 degrees. It stays about 67 degrees.
Because of all the radon.
Because, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Well, there's that. That adds 1 or 2. But because of all the computers I have here.
Oh, yeah. That's a big difference.
So...
I lived in an apartment. I never even knew that there was a thermostat in it because of our computers and everything, just keeping the apartment nice and toasty. I didn't even... I moved out after living there for 2 years, and my roommate goes, you think we should make sure the heater works because we're trying to get back our deposit?
Yeah.
And I was like, let's just not touch it. I would rather not know.
Let's sleep well enough alone.
And it stayed off the whole time.
That's right. So anyway... 15 minutes later, banks are denying cryptocurrency. Let's get to the really big news of the week. Tesla put a freaking car in space.
Now this is big. I've been a big I love Elon Musk. I love SpaceX. I love Tesla. I will say I personally know a few people that work for SpaceX, and they say that it's pretty much like the most horrifying place to work if you're an engineer, just because it's so demanding. Yeah, exactly. But you cannot deny that he's doing some interesting things. And there is a debate, I get in debates all the time. Well, I prefer Richard Branson to Elon Musk. And that's fine. Good for you. But Virgin Galactic is not in the news right now.
However you take your eccentric millionaires or billionaires is beyond my argument.
Exactly. This is big news, though. I was following this. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the live stream. I hate myself for it, but this is just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Sai says it never gets cold here, so there's no need for heaters. I know what has been Celsius here. It's been 11 degrees Celsius, and that's because we're on a warm streak. It is February. I've actually had the top down on my convertible 3 days in a row.
I took out my motorcycle today just because I was like, well, it doesn't say it's going to reach 60, but it's clear, so let's go for it.
That's exactly right. And for those in the Fahrenheit part of the world, so my U.S. viewers, it's been about, I think today was 54, yesterday was 52. I think Monday we did hit 60.
We did hit 60, yeah. It was like 60, 61 in some places.
Yeah, which is, no one ever believes me. There's always 1 week of really good weather in February. In Oregon.
For sure. No
There's
doubt.
1 week.
I'm starting to think that Phil, the groundhog, might not have actually seen his shadow.
Nope.
Not
in Oregon, anyway.
I think he's full of crap.
Yeah. Not in Oregon with our overcast. On the second, he didn't. So, anyway.
Right, Jason? I know. The dual boot. Dude, for sure. Everything about this has been amazing. And hopefully, just like Elon Musk, hopefully it sparks that, like, that dreaming phase that we were in back in the original space race. Which, could have been construed as a bad thing, but...
I don't consider it as a bad thing. It was a dick-wagging contest on a scale we've never seen before. And I hope that returns.
And in so many ways, it benefited the public. I mean, look, you have Velcro because of the space race.
Right.
You have microwave ovens because of the space race.
You have duct tape.
The safety grooving in the roads that collects the water and keeps you from hydroplaning everywhere in Oregon because of the space race.
Yep. That's exactly right. And I'll be very clear on my own personal views here. If they had done nothing but put a Tesla Roadster in space, I would be impressed.
Oh, yeah.
That's a heavy load to take up there for literally a guy paying out of his own pocket to do it with very little federal funding. They launched from the original Apollo Tower, which I found just perfectly just awesome.
Yeah.
They've done a number of Falcon 7 launches, which are the 3 main engines that are in this. There were 27 rockets that were ignited during this launch. Or 32, I think. 27 or 32, I don't remember the exact number, but it was a lot of rockets that were simultaneously or sequentially lit in perfect sequention.
Yeah.
And they've taken off and they've landed the Falcon 7 rockets before, which are the 2 smaller boosters that you see on the side of this 270-foot tall tower that we just shot up into the space.
Yeah.
And those rockets have already been to space and back down and then put back on the Falcon Heavy and then launched again.
Yeah.
You could have told me that, and I would have given you all the praise in the world.
Now, some people because I defend Elon Musk, they say, well, the mid-phase rocket misfired or whatever. I don't know exactly
27.
what it is.
That's what I thought. I think it was 32 in total because there were 3 additional burns for the third stage that were up to actually get it into the elliptical orbit, and there were a couple of things going on there too.
Yeah.
There were a couple different numbers they were throwing out. So yeah, 27 on the first and second stages.
Right, and in the second stage, there was some sort of like problem. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, and everybody's like, well, you know, Elon Musk, he barely even glossed on that in the briefing, and it's like, because he freaking drops it, he's going for the big Falcon Heavy rocket afterwards. Right. It's like he's got his eyes on the next thing. And
that's right. So again, you could have told me we put a Tesla in space. You have won my admiration. You have won my respect as an engineer, as a whatever you want to call it. You could have told me that the whole project cost $90 million. Again, you wow, far and away you knocked it out of the park. You could have told me that those 2 rockets have already been to space, landed on their own, were put back on the main rocket, and then launched again. You'd have, I would do unspeakable things to you. But then to watch this live, to watch Falcon Heavy launch off the original Apollo pad, to watch the first stage separate just absolutely beautifully, to watch those 2 rockets come back down and then land simultaneously on the same pad. Have you seen the scale picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I didn't queue that up, and I really should have. Do they have it here? They don't. Anyway, these towers are 140 feet tall, and they landed absolutely perfectly vertically, perfectly still. They have these guys walking up to them that look like ants afterwards. So, the scale of the engineering. Joe, memory foam. Oh, memory foam, $5 donation. That's right, we have memory foam because of the space race. I sleep on that every night.
I have a memory foam mattress topper. I couldn't afford the whole mattress, but a topper.
I have the pillows. We have memory foam pillows.
The memory foam pillows sometimes are like too firm for me.
I can understand that. I have a memory foam bottom, and then I usually have a feather top that I can kind of put wherever to kind of get comfortable.
That's what I do with mine too. It's like a bottom pillow situation. That's right. Yeah. Joe, we can't.
Joe, you're going to make me an alcoholic, which a lot of people already accuse me of, because every time you see me in a video, it's usually with a beer. If you want to see me stone cold sober, go watch me on Modders Inc. Although in my last Modders Inc. video, I had a cup of scotch just off camera, just for good measure.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I also do reviews for Modders Inc. So go give Modders Inc. Facebook page some love if you're watching this.
I don't know if it ever...
Or not Facebook, YouTube. I don't give Modders Inc. the YouTube page some love. I've done a number of reviews there. I went with them for CES. I think I have 5 or 6 different videos posted there now. So if you like me and you want to see more content from me, I'm going to be posting there just as often as I am on Craft Computing. So go check me out there.
Do it and let the English see you do it.
That's right.
Oh,
so
boy.
My bosses can send me more things so I can do more videos for you guys.
I don't know why I did that.
I cut that out of the corner of my eye. Can't tell we're 52 minutes in. A shot and 2 beers, can you?
A shot and 2 beers. You know, though, they were delicious.
It's still a really good stout. Even after the Jameson, that's a really good stout.
Oh, yeah. Barely even phase. This is delicious.
Normally, if I finish the night on a stout, it's this real thick, like, it's a meal unto itself. This I could have on a summer day. Yeah, I really could.
And that was actually, I bought it, and then I had read some reviews on Untappd.
It's like an iced coffee.
Right.
If I'm saying, it's like I went to Starbucks and I got an iced coffee.
Right.
That's what this tastes like.
Except it's got alcohol. Starbucks won't do that for you. So, unless you know the right people.
That's right.
You got to go to Dutch for that, though. So... yeah, I bought it.
Can I get a shot of vodka with that? We don't have vodka here. Dude, I know it's in the fridge. Okay.
Oh, it's here in my pocket. You know, Lord of the Rings quote for you nerds.
In my pocket.
I bought it and I looked at the so this is the way I buy beer. I buy a beer and then I look at the reviews. And that way, you know, I just go for I trust my instincts.
Yes.
And I read the reviews and they were like they said it's a delicious stout, but it's not one that you would like cut with a knife. You know,
Right.
it's like it's light and rich in flavor, just as rich as any of these heavy meal.
That's great
like
because I used that
stuff.
exact definition.
Did you?
I did.
I think I heard you say
I said
that.
you cannot cut this one with a knife.
You did say that, but
did.
that's also on Untapped. So
Yeah.
maybe I made that up. And 2 beers and a shot.
Two
guys.
beers and a shot.
2 beers and a shot. Maybe you said that, and I was just like, okay. I'm gonna look this up after the show.
Joe, you're killing me. Joe.
And he's
Joe, you tagged Taylor. Taylor, if you come on the show, I'm gonna buy you drinks, buddy.
Taylor. You can have all of the Kahlua you want.
Yeah, we are working on getting Taylor, which is Rhett's cohort and partner in crime, on the show. Hopefully next month. We will see what we can do.
Challenge, Taylor?
I talked to Taylor in private about possibly trying to get him and Rhett on the show at the same time. And maybe we'll do like a Game Jam recap next month.
That's a great idea.
That'd be fantastic.
See, the biggest holdup is that Taylor lives in Eugene.
Yes.
But he comes up here all the time for
Taylor,
fun stuff.
Taylor lives 90 minutes away, so maybe we don't necessarily do a live show. Or
You know
maybe,
what, though?
Maybe we do a special live show.
His parents live over in Mount Angel. We can do a special live show.
Totally.
You can stay at your parents' house. Taylor, you can come stay at my house. Settled. Taylor's coming on the show.
All right. Taylor, you will be on the show as soon as Rhett's on the show, which I believe it's like March 2nd?
The first Wednesday in March.
Yeah, first Wednesday in March. Either first or second. I'm a little fuzzy at this point.
Yeah, it's been too fun of a show, so.
It's been a good show. I told you it was going to be a good show right off the bat. Taylor says, love the idea. Book it. Taylor and Rhett on the show March 1st or 2nd or whenever.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Jason, yeah, you got to hear this story real quick. I don't want to embarrass Taylor, but this was... we went over to his house because we were going to Japan. Bust out the wine. We're drinking some delicious wine. And Taylor... Now, was it Kahlua, though, Taylor, or no. Was it Bailey's?
Bailey's?
It was Bailey's.
See, I got both in my fridge. I know the roadmap on which you're on.
So this was great, though. So he gets out a pint glass. He fills the whole pint glass with Bailey's. And he's like, just like chocolate milk. Starts going for it. I was like, dude, that's baller right there.
I don't think I've done the full pint glass, but I will say I've done like a full rocks glass, maybe a little taller with like Bailey's Kahlua 50-50.
It was like this, and it was like up to here. He was going for it. I mean, he didn't have to drive, though. So
I believe Costco now has a knockoff Bailey's. That's the same alcohol content. That's like $11 for the full fifth of it.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jason, if it is around March 1st, you're definitely getting a shout out, my man.
You got a shout out now. What more do you want?
I could be wrong, and maybe Jason doesn't want me shouting this out, but I think he's a Southern Oregonian.
Oh, really?
I think so. I could be mistaken. Apologies if I'm wrong.
I still get letters from Southern Oregon University asking if I want to go there.
You gotta tell me to stop that.
I was shopping for a college 14 years ago.
They gave up on me when they... I don't know what made all the colleges give up on me, but they did very quickly.
Your jubilant personality.
Yeah, that must be it.
Hi, I'm here for the interview. Oh, shit.
But I brought a six-pack. I don't know why I didn't get any callbacks. I mean,
see, Southern Oregon's not the party university. What's the theater one down there?
Oh, in Ashland?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the party university.
Well, there's a reason they call Corvallis Corvegas.
Yeah.
And by they,
Only
I mean...
9 months of the year, though.
Yeah, and I heard one stand-up comedian call it Corvegas, and I thought it was brilliant. So.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a local Portland comedian that's one of my absolute favorites. His name is Dwight Slade. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
His name sounds familiar, but I don't think I have.
He does the... he does a bit on there's Traffic for No Reason, where you're driving down 205, and all of a sudden it just comes to a standstill. and you know exactly what I'm talking about already, which is hilarious. But you're driving on 205, and all of a sudden traffic just comes to a stop. And for the next 5 miles, you're doing absolutely nothing. You're doing like 2 mile an hour crawl, stop and go the whole time, never getting above 10 miles an hour. And he goes, and then it just starts breaking up. And he goes, if I wait for an hour in traffic, there better be a show at the end.
I know. That's what I always say. And then I get there and it starts going and I'm like, what? What, Oregon?
My best was there was a stalled vehicle in Lake Oswego that had been there for probably 3 or 4 days. And it was a good 50 yards off the road.
And everybody's got to slow down.
And everyone brake checked that thing.
Giving it one of these.
And rubbernecked it.
Oh.
And was doing the 5 miles an hour. Oh, I wonder what they stopped for. He ran out of gas. It was like a 30-year-old truck. He broke down. What do you want? Keep moving. Yeah, the traffic for no reason.
That everybody knows that.
Yeah, he has a number of good bits. But Dwight Slade, he's one of my favorite Portland comedians.
Slade, I'll check it out.
I think he still performs. He's been on a couple of major shows as well. But yeah, he's funny.
Very cool.
I love how we've gone so far off topic. I haven't even gotten to the last post yet.
Well, you know what, though? It was like the one that I added on just so that when I showed up, I could show you that I added some links.
And to be fair, I haven't read this one, so I hope you have.
No. I read a little bit.
Costco is God. Indeed it is. In fact, in Oregon, you cannot buy liquor in a Costco unless it's under 20%. You can buy under 20% liquor in a Costco. Therefore, I can buy Bailey's in a Costco, which is where I get my Bailey's from. If I want anything else, I got to drive to Vancouver. So I got to drive an extra 40 minutes north. So
have you ever, not to be sacrilegious here, but have you ever had the Kirkland brand beer?
I have.
What do you think about it? Okay, so here's...
I will say it's on par with what you'd expect the major domestics to be. The Heinekens, the Busch, the Miller.
That's what I was going to say. It's on par with the Coors, the Bud.
And the same with their liquor. I've had their liquor. I've had their vodka.
I haven't.
I've had their whiskey. I've had a couple other things that they make. It's on par with what you would expect a fifth of Jack Daniels to come with, or a fifth of Smirnoff 80, or a fifth of... whatever your popular brand.
That's
like I said,
pretty good, though.
It's totally.
You're comparing
good.
It to Jack?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that's pretty good.
Right. It's solid. It's
I was expecting you to say like Seagram's or something, you know?
No, it's a good house liquor. Where when you walk up to a bar and you say, "Hey, can I have this drink?" and they say, "Do you want the house whiskey?" and you say yes, and they pour it and you go, "Oh, that's not bad." That's what that Kirkland brand is. Where it's not bad. I wouldn't write home about it. It's not the best drink I've ever had, but it's good.
You know, I used to do podcasts where we watch B-rated movies and we drink beers, and it became all about the beers for a long time. And we drank so much Kirkland beer on that show at one point. It just like it grew on me. You know what I mean? It's like, well, if I'm at Costco, it's like, all right, I guess I can get a flat of Kirkland beer.
Taylor was checking out. Good night, Taylor.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. You the man. Not as much as Joe, but Taylor's still the man.
Yeah, I didn't see your name with a price tag next to it, Taylor, so thanks for letting me down yet again.
Taylor, back me on Patreon so you can get in my Discord. I'd love to chat with you.
And Jason says it is Southern Oregon University that's a liberal arts party school, so...
Really? Okay.
Well...
Back when they were checking me out, they were the backcountry. We offer, like, cow fertilization and a couple other majors.
That almost sounds like OSU. They've got like all their ag stuff locked in place.
Yeah.
And then of course there's OIT, which
although
is Southern.
I will say Southern was trying to pitch me on the arts programs as well. Joe, I give a shout out. Joe delivers another yellow, buddy.
I'm out of beer. I don't know what to do, Joe.
Joe, a happy $10 birthday to Jason.
That's legit, Joe. Thank you so much. Happy early birthday to Jason, but we're going to make sure we get you that birthday shout out next time I'm back.
Joe, do you want to come on the show?
Joe.
If you're in Oregon, if you're anywhere on the West Coast, we'll find something. I'm coming up to Seattle next month where we can do something there. If you're on the West Coast, we'll find a way to get you on the show.
You got to take all this money. You just got to get Joe drunk as AF. Drunk AF.
Drunk AF.
I don't even remember what I was saying, but...
Southern Oregon Party University.
Oh, yeah, and then I was going to say, of course, there's OIT down there in Klamath.
There's OIT, Klamath Falls, oh yeah.
Which is... Yeah.
Klamath Falls is this tiny little speck on the map, and those stories make their way north.
Oh, they do. You know, though, there is a great little spot. I highly recommend it. Right outside Klamath Falls. Well, not right outside. I don't know how far it is. But I watched this OPB special about the Modeg Wars. Have you ever heard about that? It's this Native American tribe that it was like one of the last big standoffs with the U.S. Army. And it happened outside of Klamath Falls. And there's this like freaking natural lava rock formation out there. And I went through, we were driving to Reno and we stopped and we hiked through the whole damn thing. And it was badass. It's all over this OPB. I swear it was like not a Ken Burns special, but it may as well be, you know, like, and it was that level of intricacy, and it was cool. We stopped in there, and it was like, they had signs every step of the way, and you could almost see you go in there, and it's like, they call it Captain Jack's Stronghold. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
And it's this badass lava rock formation. You go up there, and it's like, oh, I now see how, like, a few people staved off the U.S. Army. So
Yeah.
That's my Klamath Falls story.
Yep. Someone says there was a renowned vodka expert, and he rated Kirkland as the highest in a blind taste test. And Joe says, are you saying there was a person was blind, or they just didn't know what they were drinking?
Probably both.
I will say with vodka, you can flip a coin and go, oh, that's a good vodka, or that's a bad vodka.
Look, people judge me for this, but I drink Seagram's. Mm-hmm. 7 Crown is my favorite whiskey.
I drink Seagram 7.
It's so good.
It is good.
It's so good.
I will say, here, I'm going to grab some bottles here. I don't have the second bottle I want to show you. So here are my 2 go-tos.
Oh boy, your scrolls are backwards.
Yeah,
I don't like that. Nah, never mind. I failed.
It's on the touchpad, which makes more sense.
The touchpad makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The scrolling wheel. Okay.
So these are my 2.
Oh yes, this is great.
Yes. So here is my go-to whiskey. This is Elijah Craig Small Batch. And the reason it's my go-to whiskey is it's $30 for a fifth or $45 for a half gallon.
That's really great.
Solid price. Okay. This is a good shooter. It's a good sipper. It's good neat. It's good over ice. It's good in a mixed drink. It is good in everything. I can use this whiskey in anything that I do. It is fantastic, and the price is right. It is slightly more expensive than a Jack Daniels, but Jack is a good shooter, not so good in a mixed drink. It's better than a Jim because Jim is good in a mixed drink, but not so good as a shooter. You know, this is just a solid all-around whiskey, and I can use it anywhere.
You know, and forgive me for this, but a lot of people don't know with whiskey. Okay, anything over 80 proof
is overproof.
Is overproof.
Technically, it's over 100 proof.
Well, okay. I hear a lot of mixed reports on this.
I like to go over 100.
A lot of people see, and I'm the same way. I say over 100, you can add a splash of water.
Yeah.
A lot of the experts, whatever that means, I may as well be a whiskey expert, but a lot of the experts, they say anything over 80, you add a splash of water, it cuts back the burn, and you get the fuller taste.
I disagree. And the reason I disagree is because I know the science behind it. When you order whiskey in a bar, in a good whiskey bar, and they serve it to you, they say, do you want some water? And you say yes. And what they do is they serve you...
That's screwed up. You never order... You only order...
Hold on. Back up a whoa. Hold on. Okay. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. Okay.
I'll let it...
They give you your glass of whiskey, which is usually in a rocks glass neat, and then they give you a glass of water, a rock glass full of water, and they give you a glass stem. And the reason for it is you take that glass stem and you put a drop of whiskey in, or a drop of water into your whiskey.
Okay.
What that does is on the surface of the whiskey, it dilutes the things that are water soluble.
Okay.
But it does not dilute the oils, which are the things that makes the drink harsh. And so you can take a drink of whiskey that's neat, and you go, oh, that's a really smooth whiskey. I taste this note. I taste this note. You add 1 drop of water, and on the surface of that whiskey, it dilutes the sugars and all the things that are water soluble,
right?
And it leaves all the oils and the oak char and the resin and the things that are not water soluble floating right on top. And what you do is you take a drink. Then it makes the drink harsher. It makes it more intense, but it's a single drop. And so when you ask for a whiskey and water, that's what they are supposed to serve you. If they serve you something else, they're jackasses.
Yeah.
Because they're diluting down your whiskey.
This is true. Yeah.
So, and there are some whiskey that I will drink over rocks. There are some scotches I will drink over rocks.
Yes, true.
Because they taste better that way.
Well, and not only that, but then you get like the perfect amount of like time locked water release.
I will say when I drink Elijah over rock, or when I drink Elijah just sipping it, I will drink Elijah over rocks because it doesn't have that harsh oil taste and things like that. It's just a real smooth, fantastic taste. If I'm drinking my other favorite, which is the Johnny Walker Double Black.
Double Black is
which is a
legit.
delicious Scotch.
It's legit.
It's a delicious Scotch blended whiskey. It's absolutely fantastic. And I'm not reading the chat right now. If you're talking about this, I'll probably go through it in a little bit. But I drink this neat. I drink it just in a rocks glass, and I sit there and I sip it. And the peat in this is fantastic. The oak char is a really deep flavor. Like I said, if there's one thing I like more than craft beer, it's really good whiskey.
I think this discussion about whiskey has stirred the pot on the chat.
I am stirring the pot into chat.
Yeah, there are some great whiskeys, and honestly, I'll never say a person can go wrong with any whiskey. I don't care if you're drinking porters or if you're drinking...
Seagram 7.
Seagram 7 is my... You go get a fifth for $12.
Yes, it's a good whiskey
and
for
it's
$12
so
and
good.
screw you if you don't agree with me.
And I don't care what you say, a 7 and 7 made with True 7 Crown is a boss-ass drink.
It is.
So
I agree with you. Yeah. 7 I drink over rocks.
I drink it neat.
You drink it neat?
Because it's like only 80 proof or something.
It's only 80 proof. I drink it over rocks, though. I think it's better cold than it is warm.
Okay, I can agree with that. Yeah. I guess I could agree with that.
Yeah, that I drink not for the dilution, but for the temperature.
Yeah, I can actually see that. That's a good point. I see. The problem is I just keep everything out at room temperature, so I'm just like catching straight like room temperature neat drinks all the time. The only thing that I don't drink neat is like probably gin. Okay, good gin needs to go in a good tonic. Yep. And don't give me none of your cheap Safeway brand tonics. Okay, and I don't.
Oh, we're getting highbrow now.
And I'm not saying that you need to have like an artisanal tonic, okay? I'm just saying like
you want like the Evian tonic.
No, I'm just not even that. Just like, look, don't go signature brand on me, okay? I had somebody like give me some like homemade artisanal tonic, and he was like, yeah, this guy, he was like, I sold this for like, you know, $10 a bottle for like a liter, right?
Yeah.
It ended up being like the worst tasting swill I've ever had. And no offense if you're listening, you're likely not.
I will say, not to cut you off, hold on to that thought. I'm going to read through the chat before we cut. Because the chat is golden.
I keep looking over at it. I'm like, this just needs to
It just keeps going. So I'm going to read through it. While you're talking, I'm going to read through it so I can make some bullet points. But, okay, go on.
Look, don't give me none of your cheap tonics, okay? You don't need artisanal tonics, but you don't skim. And I don't care who you are, you get what you pay for. Now, granted, somebody in the chat said they've had great cheap alcohol and bad expensive alcohol. Now, this is true. Now, actually, they did a scientific study on this concerning wine. Now, I don't know if any of you guys are wine drinkers, but I don't discriminate against my alcohol, okay? Beer, liquor, wine. Don't care.
Yep.
Now, they did a study on this, and they found that, like, however you throw a price tag on it, it was like these medium-priced, economy-minded wines sold the best. Now, you buy the cheapest wines, and the way you dissect it, you're actually not getting the best deal that you can. But if you buy those mid-tier, economy-minded brands of wine, you're actually getting the most grapes per barrel of wine than any other type. You get expensive. In fact, I think the study, maybe I'll link you to this infographic so that you can share this with everybody.
Yeah, sure.
But the most expensive wines, and we're talking like probably $50 a bottle upwards, they have the least amount of grapes.
Yeah.
The least amount of grapes. And probably like, I think the rest of the body is made up with like currants or whatever. Like it's nowhere near the level of like something from like an $8 to $15 bottle of wine, you know? Or how about 8 to 20, somewhere in there. You go to grocery outlet, okay? You buy yourself a case, you follow my rule. Nothing above $5.99. You keep it all down there, you're gonna be okay.
Highbrow.
You know what? We're closing in on like a 90-minute show, so I can afford to be a little highbrow.
We'll go 90 minutes if that's what we're gonna do tonight. I gotta get through this chat too, because it's good.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
So I'll touch on the chat. Sai, you asked a question. Isn't alcohol bad for your liver? Why do you drink? Alcohol is bad for your liver.
Now, there is conflicting studies, though. I just read this today.
But your liver is self-healing. That's right. And Joe with the counter. And yes, alcohol is technically bad for your liver.
It is a neurotoxin.
That's right. It affects your mind and soul. My soul more than my mind.
Exactly. It makes me feel great.
That's right. Makes me feel great and not care.
Exactly.
That's right. I'm kidding. Anyway, why do I drink? I drink for the flavor. That's really why I drink. If I wanted to get drunk, there are way cheaper ways to get drunk than the way that I drink.
Yeah.
And that has been
we're talking like a half gallon of porters.
Right.
Vodka.
That has come into a topic of conversation a number of times within the comment section of my videos is, God, you're an alcoholic. And it's
I was going to bring this up earlier.
Right. There were a couple of comments. It got heated a couple episodes ago. Guys, what you see me drink in the video is really all I drink like all week long.
Yeah.
When I get home from work, I will typically have one cocktail with dinner. Whether it's an old fashioned, whether it's a sour, whether it's just a whiskey neat, but I will match it to whatever dinner I'm having that night, and I just have a drink. And it's like a shot. It's like an ounce or two of liquor, and that's it. That's what I drink on a daily basis.
I love a good whiskey sour.
I love a good whiskey sour. Amaretto sour.
Amaretto sour. Oh, God, that's great.
Tell you what, Taylor, when you come on the show, we're going to make amaretto sours live on the show. Oh. And I'm going to make them right.
Hell yes.
I do it with an egg white.
That's legit.
That's baller.
You got to go to like an old school restaurant where they still know how to make those.
That's right.
Because that's what they do.
No, I do Prohibition and like Prohibition era to 50s cocktails. That is my wheelhouse.
You know, I don't want to get too personal, but real quick.
Yeah.
I used to work for a lawyer, and he would take us out for dinner. And he was just like, go nuts. Pre-dinner cocktail is a must, though. Yes. I will not budge.
Yes.
And he was all about those, like, Prohibition-era cocktails. And
they are amazing.
I was like, hey, you know, whatever you want. And that's, like, every time it, like, exposes me to these great drinks that are, like, they're not forgotten to time by any means.
No.
But nobody makes them like that anymore.
Yeah. If I walk into a Chili's or a whatever else, and I say, hey, can I have a Mai Tai? What you are asking for is
80%.
It is an ounce of dark rum, an ounce of white rum, and pineapple and orange juice to taste. That's what you're asking for. To me, a Mai Tai is 3/4 ounce lime juice, 3/4 ounce orgeat, which is an almond made syrup. It is 1 ounce of a dark rum, and I mean dark rum, like molasses black rum, 1 ounce of white rum. You pour it over crushed ice, and then you float a 151 on top. Oh. That is a Mai Tai. That is a traditional Mai Tai. When I walk into a bar and I ask for an old fashioned, I don't want whatever the hell they're serving as an old fashioned today. What I want is 3 ounces of whiskey, 1 ounce of either simple or a sugar cube if you're doing it right. I will say you can do simple if you don't chill the drink.
Sugar cube is the way to go, though.
I want an orange peel, which is spritzed over the top, run around the rim, and dropped into the drink. I want a Luxardo cherry, and I want three dashes of Angostura bitters.
My grandfather, to this day, makes his own bitters.
Yeah.
He is fantastic. Old school about his old fashions. Like he will not budge.
I'm old school about old fashions.
I love going to family get-togethers.
Do you know why they call it old fashioned? It's because in the late 1800s it was, I would like a whiskey cocktail, which is what we know the old fashioned as. When they got into the 1910s, 1920s, they started adding fruit and they started adding carbonated beverages and they started chilling it and they started doing all these other things. And then they got into the 30s and 40s. And someone would walk in and go, I want a whiskey cocktail, but I want it old-fashioned.
Old-fashioned.
Old-fashioned. That is what it is.
I'm down with that.
Yep.
I'm down with that.
So there's the improved whiskey cocktail. There's the, I'm drawing a blank on the name. There's a couple different variations on it. That's what it is. God, you guys are going nuts.
God, you're going too fast. Wait, John Shubin said something. Let's talk about what John Shubin said.
John Shubin say something?
John Shubin. Wait, scroll up.
I didn't see
right there. Oh. Stop. Alcohol.
It's not the journey, it's the destination.
John, shut up.
It's the journey. It's the journey.
It's all about the journey.
It's not where I'm going, it's how I got there.
The destination? What?
It's not where I'm going, it's how I got there.
Hey, John, It's okay, buddy. I got your spots in the coming weeks. Don't worry about it. You don't need to come in anymore. It's the destination. Yeah. Who are you?
Yeah.
Maybe we're getting a little too belligerent here, but I will say this. For years, I had to defend my love of whiskey sours. Mm-hmm. People said, that's a girl's drink.
No.
Okay. I was finally vindicated when I was reading the fine novel by Andy Weir called The Martian.
Okay. Yep.
Those of you who haven't seen the movie, starring Matt Damon, filmed by...
if you haven't seen the movie,
Ridley
go read
Scott.
The book. If you've seen the movie, go read the book.
The book is so good. The book is so good. And in the book, he's gearing up for his big, escape from Mars.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much, he's like, well, who knows what'll happen? Maybe I'll die tomorrow. And he goes, and it's times like this, I always ask myself, because he's an astronaut in, the near future from us. And he goes, it's times like this, I always ask myself, what would Neil Armstrong do? And that's what I remember. He'd probably slam 3 whiskey sours and then drive to the launch pad in his convertible with the top down and ride a rocket to the moon.
That's right.
And ever since I read that, I feel like I've never had to justify my love of whiskey sours to anybody.
I love whiskey sours.
They're so freaking good.
They're so delicious.
And like homemade whiskey sours, like where you actually get some like lemon and lime in there. It's Joe, knock it, Joe. Thank
Joe, we are doing cocktails next week.
We are not bringing this cheap ass beer. Well, not this cheap.
This ain't cheap. We may be doing scotch next week.
Joe, what the heck, man? I'll be back shortly. We might be done before then. I'm really sorry, but we're like way over time here.
All of my, we may go from an hour show to a 90-minute show just because every single show, we get out of the tech news and we get into the beer or like the whatever the heck is happening. Yeah.
Anything news?
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
see, and I hear that Martian quote, harkening back to Neil Armstrong, and I always go to the Armageddon quote. I just wanted to feel the power between my legs, brother.
Exactly. That's like perfect.
Yeah.
And anybody who doubts it, it's like, just imagine yourself in that position.
And again, I'll go back to, if you go to a bar today, you go to most bars that are not like cocktail bars, and you say, I want a whiskey sour. What you're asking for is whiskey with sweet and sour poured on top. That's a whiskey sour to them. That's like this lemon-based, but still really, really sweet drink. Yeah, that's like an ounce of whiskey and 3 ounces of sour mix. And you go, that's okay. And that's it.
Yeah. See, and even the problem too is though, a lot of these like companies have made their own whiskey sour mix.
The Mr. T's.
Oh, God, the whiskey sour mix is terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're gonna make a cheap spring break whiskey sour, just please buy the sweet and sour mix.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna go to a place that actually makes them.
See, I make whiskey sours from scratch. I make amaretto sours from scratch. And in fact, my whiskey sour today is known as the Boston sour because I also make that with an egg white. With the bitters on top and the bitter art and the... Joe!
Dude, is he like... He's got to be just like gone, right? He's just like,
Joe,
I'm drinking with you guys, but a shot every time Rhett
I want to know how many drinks you've had. Now, Rhett has to drive home, but I will do another shot on camera. Just
I can't do another one, but I will.
I know you can't.
I wish I could, though.
Tell you what, I'm going to pour some scotch in a rocks glass.
I'm back, and now I can see and hear that. What? You couldn't see and hear us before?
All right, Joe. Some double black.
Joe's a baller.
Walker.
Joe, if you have any friends, tomorrow morning, you do have friends. I don't know why I said it like that, because we're your friends now. Joe, your other friends. You're not Rhett and Jeff friends. You need to go to them, and you got to say, I donated so much money that these guys got schnickered off their... That looks delicious. Oh. Anyway, they got, you're a hero. You're a true hero. You're patronizing the arts.
That peat sitting right up on top and the warmth just...
Joe, what you ought to do, don't donate more money. Take one of your dollars, hop on over to Patreon, and you got to get in on our Discord server, and we can BS with you all day. I will personally...
Joe, get on Patreon.
You know what? You just
Not that I don't appreciate the super chat.
You ought to just.
I appreciate the super chat.
You ought to just like X-nay on the Patreon for Joe and just get him on the Discord server because I think he's earned his way.
Joe, tell you what. You send me a PM. Go to my YouTube channel. Go to the About page. Send me a business inquiry email to me. You have earned a lifetime membership to my Discord channel. You send me an email. I will send you a link. You are on board. You can ask me anything you want.
Joe, you're a what we call at the GameDevsQuest community an ultra hella baller.
Now, John Spoonamore, I thought you were drinking Kentucky whiskey at the top, or was that someone else?
Maker's Mark?
Maker's Mark. That's right.
Was that him?
Yeah, you were drinking Maker's at the top. Now you're drinking 151 rum. What is it, man? What are you drinking?
He's just balling with us. He's just like, you know, maybe this is the niche for talking heads, right? It's nobody wants to know tech news. They want to be able to drink alone in their house.
They want to know that Tesla put a car into space, and I'm drinking a Johnny Walker Double Black.
Now, the Double Black is baller.
It's so good. For just a solid scotch, and a true scotch.
It is great. You know, see, me and my brother, the Johnny Walker was always like my go-to scotch. Mm-hmm. And it still is. It still is because you can buy yourself a fifth, mm-hmm. you can buy yourself a half. It's really freaking delicious and affordable for a delicious scotch. Me and my brother, for some reason, we got in this weird place where we settle bets with a bottle of Lagavulin 16. Now, I don't know if you've ever had Lagavulin.
That ain't a bad bet to have.
No. And right now, we actually have a bet going currently. And I think there's about 3 years left on the bet, maybe like 3.5. If I can get him to drink a sip of Bud Light, he owes me a bottle of Lagavulin. But anyway, that's the route we go. And that's just like, I don't know if anybody's ever had it. It is smoked over pine wood. Oh, God. It'll burn, but you get used to it. It's great. You can cut it with a little water if you can't handle it, but you got to work up to that neat level because it's, it is so rich.
So I'm going to tell you, the last party I was at in Vegas was fully comped. Actually, most of the parties I was at in Vegas were fully comped. But the last one I went to, and we'll finish on this.
Oh, apparently Joe's already on the Patreon? I didn't see that. No, what? No, you're not. You're full of crap. What are you on Patreon as? Maybe he's not in the Discord. I'm sorry. Sorry, Joe. You might not be full of crap.
3 patrons. Joe, my man. I may have an awaiting email saying you are the newest patron. So, Joe, my man.
Whatever. You earned yourself a lifetime member. Don't
lifetime membership. It's all yours. Anyway, so I went to this bar, and at this point I'm trying to challenge the bartenders because it's like I've been drinking for free all week. And I walked up and I said, "Can you make me a Godfather?" Which is another great Prohibition era drink, which is basically amaretto and scotch. And that's it. It's equal parts amaretto and scotch. They pour it into a glass over ice, and it's delicious.
That does sound great.
Okay, so she goes, "Okay, what kind of scotch do you want?" And I said, "I don't know. What do you got?" And she goes, "I don't know. I've got this. I've got that. I've got a Glen 12." I said, "I love Glenlivet 12. Tell you what, make it with that." Like, "Thank you, honey. It's all yours." And she goes, "I got a Johnny Walker Blue if you want that."
Yeah, okay.
She upsold me a free drink from Glen 12, which is like a $70 fifth, to Johnny Walker Blue, which is a $280 fifth.
Whoa, no way. Is it really?
Have you never had Johnny Blue?
I've had Johnny Blue, but I didn't know it was that expensive.
I saw it at the best price I've ever seen.
I owe some of my friends an apology.
I saw it this week at the best price I've ever seen it in the store, and it was $235 a fifth.
That is phenomenal. I normally buy black for myself. Yeah. I'll buy red if I'm getting a gift.
Yep.
And I have had blue, but I've never bought it personally. Yep. So I
Johnny Blue is typically $300 a bottle.
Oh, Jesus. Thank you kindly, bartender in Las
So like
Vegas.
I said, that's as good a place as any to end it. Unless Joe wants to throw another $10 in the pot.
Joe, don't take
Joe, seriously don't. Thank you for joining the Patreon. I appreciate it.
You want to?
Thank you all for joining us on episode 17 of Talking Heads. I'm Jeff. He's Rhett. Since you weren't going to make it on time.
I was going to. I was prepared this time, but you just ripped any choice in the matter I had away.
So thank you all for joining me. Keep watching the videos. I do appreciate it. I've seen kind of a boon in viewership over the last month. Keep it going. Share it with your friends. I I want to grow this channel into something because I really enjoy making this content. I enjoy being on the live show. I enjoy chatting with you guys. I enjoy the projects. Let's keep it going, guys. Support the Patreon. Make sure you check out GameDevsQuest and their Game Jam number 3.
Yeah, if you Google GameDevsQuest, you'll find us all over the web.
Yep.
So we're doing the One Mechanic Game Jam this weekend. See you there.
That's right. And the first Wednesday in March, which I believe is either March 1st or March 2nd. I haven't looked it up because I'm really lazy. We will have Rhett and Taylor, who are the 2 cohorts for GameDevsQuest, on the show, doing a recap, going over their favorite games. We will make it, Joe, $10. I knew if I waited, I knew if I drew this outro out, you would donate another 10 and you came through.
Joe.
My man. That's why I'm drinking this. Good night, everyone.